In a world defined by accelerating change and non-routine work, the ability to solve complex problems is the ultimate competitive advantage. This book presents a disciplined, 7-step framework designed to cut through uncertainty and deliver reliable results. The process moves from the critical initial stage of understanding a problem in its full context, through systematic analysis, to the final, often overlooked, stage of compelling communication. It is a blend of structured logic and creative thinking, applicable to individuals and teams alike, providing a common language and a clear roadmap for navigating even the most daunting challenges. The journey begins not with solutions, but with questions. The most common and costly error in problem-solving is rushing to answer the wrong question. Therefore, the first step demands rigorous effort to define the problem correctly. This involves crafting a single, crisp problem statement and then exploring its context. Who are the key decision-makers? What does success look like, and how is it measured? What are the constraints of time, resources, and acceptability? History is littered with examples of organizations that failed because they solved for a superficial symptom rather than the core issue. A classic case is the newspaper industry of the 1990s, which mistakenly defined its threat as competition for readers' attention, rather than the catastrophic erosion of its advertising revenue model by online platforms. Investing time here, as the adage attributed to Einstein suggests, is non-negotiable. Spending the majority of your allotted time understanding the problem saves immeasurable effort later. With a well-defined problem in hand, the next step is to dismantle it into manageable components using logic trees. This process of disaggregation transforms an intimidating, monolithic issue into a series of smaller, clearer questions. A logic tree starts with the core problem as its trunk, which then branches out into primary drivers, which further split into secondary and tertiary factors. The goal is to create branches that are mutually exclusive, covering distinct aspects without overlap, and collectively exhaustive, covering all relevant aspects. For instance, the goal of improving personal health might branch into diet and exercise. Diet could then branch into what, when, and how much. This visual mapping prevents overwhelm and ensures no potential solution avenue is prematurely ignored. The process is iterative. As new information emerges, the tree should be refined. A comprehensive logic tree, however, can become unwieldy, presenting an ocean of possibilities. Step 3 introduces prioritization to focus energy efficiently. This is done by evaluating the twigs of your logic tree, the most specific actionable elements, on a simple 2x2 matrix. One axis measures the potential impact of addressing that element on the overall problem. The other axis assesses the ease or feasibility of influencing that element. The sweet spot, where high impact meets high influence, becomes the priority zone for analysis and action. This prevents wasted effort on factors that are either trivial or impossible to change. In a real-world example, a conservation group aiming to protect wild salmon stocks had to choose between myriad strategies. While improving vast ocean conditions would have high impact, their ability to influence it was negligible. Instead, they prioritized high-impact, high-influence actions like restoring specific spawning habitats and advocating for targeted fishing regulations, ensuring their limited resources created the greatest possible benefit. Prioritization clarifies what to analyze, and Step 4 addresses how to organize that analysis through a solid work plan and team structure. Complex problems are rarely solved in isolation. This step emphasizes assembling a team with diverse perspectives and skills, and then creating a clear plan that assigns ownership, sets milestones, and establishes protocols for communication and iteration. A strong work plan acts as a contract and a compass, keeping the team aligned and accountable as they delve into the data. It turns a conceptual priority list into a concrete set of tasks, timelines, and responsibilities. Step 5 is the engine room of the process, analyzing the data to uncover solutions. With a focused set of prioritized questions, the team gathers relevant data, both quantitative and qualitative, and subjects it to rigorous analysis. This stage employs various tools, from basic statistical analysis to creative modeling, to test hypotheses and reveal root causes. The key is to let the data guide the conclusions, avoiding the common trap of cherry-picking information that supports preconceived notions. The analysis should be thorough yet efficient, always tied back to the prioritized levers from the previous step. The final 2 steps transform analysis into action. Step 6 is synthesis, pulling together all the findings from the disparate analyses into a coherent whole. This is the stage of insight, where patterns become clear and a unified solution or set of recommendations crystallizes. It involves revisiting the original problem definition to ensure the solution directly addresses it, and stress testing the conclusions for robustness. All this work is for naught without step 7, effectively communicating the results. A brilliant solution poorly presented will fail to gain traction. This step is about crafting a compelling narrative for your key decision makers. It involves structuring your communication, whether a presentation, report, or memo, around a clear storyline, the problem context, the analytical approach, the key findings, and the recommended actions. Visual aids like simplified logic trees and prioritization matrices are powerful tools to make complex reasoning transparent and persuasive. The goal is to make the solution not just understood, but believed and acted upon. Together, these 7 steps form a bulletproof cycle. They provide a repeatable methodology that builds discipline into creative thinking, ensuring that problem-solving efforts are comprehensive, efficient, and ultimately successful in the real world. It is a system designed not for a stable past, but for the complex and unpredictable future.